What's up, YouTube peeps and barbecue freaks? Thank you guys for joining me today. Today's video, I'm actually going to do a spatchcock chicken on the pit barrel cooker. We're going to inject it. We're going to get it seasoned up. I'm actually doing this cook because I want to use this chicken in some tacos later. So I'm going to smoke it now. I'll use this chicken in a different recipe later, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. I'll show you what I use to season it up with and what I use to inject it with. Again, we're going to cook it on the pit barrel cooker. This should be good. Let's get started. All right, guys, so the chicken I have here is right at about, it's actually right at 6.5 pounds. So it was frozen. I had to try to thaw it out some. It was still a little frozen, so ran it under some hot water, try to thaw it out, but this is what I got here. What I'm gonna do, and we are gonna do some cleaning up on this bad boy. All this loose skin down here. I like to get that cut off. I am using a piece of cardboard underneath my cutting board, just so I don't have to waste like foil to keep my bottom cutting board clean. So you are seeing cardboard underneath this. So, get some paper towels real quick. So what I'm going to do is, I at the beginning of the video I said I'm going to do this spatchcocked. I think I'm going to change that. I think I'm going to split it in half and cook it like I would competition chicken, as far as turning it into whole halves. So I think that's the route that I'm going to go. Here's some fat I want to try to get off here. I'm not doing my competition recipe, but I think I'm going to cook it, two halves like I would in a comp. So we're going to start on this top part here. In fact, take this knife and just cut right down the middle. Right to that kill bone. I am going to attempt to remove it. There you go. See all this liquid in here is from rinsing this bird off. Don't normally do that, but like I said, it was frozen, so I had to try to thaw it. I had to try to thaw it out some. Just want to expose that. This kill bone here, I'm going to try to get right underneath that, or right behind that. And just kind of take my finger, cut a little bit of that out. Just when you go to cut this breast meat up, it just allows you to get a better cut. So just clean up any loose pieces. There's some fat down here that I'm going to try to trim off. Now I know me, I could spend quite a while on this chicken, so I'm going to try not to do that. Just try to give it a light trim. Trim off some of this excess fat. I think that's good. So here you have the backbone that I'm going to remove. And cut it right out. Just like that. Remove that. Paper towels. And at this point you have two halves. We'll flip it over. Show you what that looks like in just a second. We have two chicken halves here. Towel. Two chicken halves here. I am going to do a little cleaning up on these. And there's excess skin or meat hanging out. Just going to come around and trim it up. And that, you know what? Actually, there's a, oh, that's not going to be good. There's some skin. Usually right here at the top, there's a ton of fat right under this top skin here, or under this breast skin. So I'm just going to come through and trim a little bit of that away as much as I could get to. I'll try not to get too carried away. So get that off. Let's see, under here there's a little bit. So, just going to get this off. I don't need it, I don't want it. So let's get rid of it. You know what, and that's pretty much all I'm going to do to this chicken. So here's that one side. There's always one side that splits open. That's your tenderloin. I mean your, not tenderloin, your chicken tender right in here. So, you know, for cooking at the house, I think this is going to be good. So, I'm going to clean up my area. And then we're going to get these chickens seasoned up. I am going to season this breast meat, so I'm going to pull this skin back. Get all that fat under here. I hate this stuff. This is where I will spend 90% of my time focusing on trimming up all this fat. And I said I wasn't going to do it, but look at me. Here I am doing it. I'm trying to get too carried away. Let's get rid of some of this fat on this breast meat if we can. I think that's all I'm going to do to it. So let me get my area cleaned up and then I'll pick back up in just a second. Alright, so for my injection today, what I'm going to use is just this Tony's Chachery Creole butter seasoning. I think this works great for turkeys, chicken, you know, things like that. So that's what I'm going to use today. If you're looking for just a, you know, something off the shelf that you can buy that works really well, this is it right here. So I'm just going to take my injector and inject this entire bird. Come into the leg, plump it up, come into this thigh here, pump it up, make sure I get under this wing, which I think a lot of people fail to do, and then into, you know, pull the skin back actually, into this breast meat. And get it injected. I'm going to do both birds. Get them pumped up really good. This just adds a really good flavor to your chicken. It also helps keeps this breast meat moist. You know, if you're looking for something, like I said, around the house, this actually works really, really well. So come back in. We'll inject this thigh. I'm sorry, this breast. and then get this the rest of this chicken injected. Same spots: thighs, legs, wings, breast. You can just see it kind of plump up. Get under the wing. So I'm gonna get the rest of this injected, and then I'll pick back up once we start seasoning. All right, so I got my chickens here. They're injected. The two rubs I'm gonna use today, one is this chicken fajita seasoning from Fiesta, and the other one is gonna be this Suckle Busters. I'm sorry, this Cluckalicious from Chupacabra. I really like these rubs, so I'm gonna just try them out today on these chickens. Get both of them covered up. Come back with this Cluckalicious. Just give it a nice coating on the bottom side, and then I'm going to repeat the process on the top side. Get that covered up real good. And then get the skin pulled back over. I'm going to have to pin that down. You can use toothpicks if you want to kind of pin that skin down so it doesn't rise up as it cooks, or whatever you got available, little metal screws, your call. So use whatever you got to pin that skin down. Get that good coating. I'm gonna get this pit barrel fired up as soon as I get done seasoning these chickens. We'll let it rest for a bit, and then I'm gonna get that pit barrel fired up, and we'll get these on. Make sure you season both sides of the wing, top and bottom. That's it. We're gonna let these rest for a bit. We'll get that pit barrel fired up, and I'll pick back up once we get these on the pit. All right, you guys, so I got both chickens here. What I did is I put them on a wire rack, and I'm actually gonna cook them on this rack. I'm gonna put this rack inside the pit barrel cooker. What that's gonna do is it's gonna make it easier to transport these chickens back and forth. So I'm gonna take this rack. I got the pit barrel fired up. I'm using pecan wood for the smoke. We're gonna get these chickens on and get this cook underway. All right, you guys, I got the chicken on. We're gonna get these rebar put in here. Even though we're not hanging the chicken, I still want to put the rebar in there. You know, that's kind of helps with the airflow. So again, I got some pecan wood at the bottom. I'm not sure what temp this is going to run at. The bottom vent is about halfway open. I'm just going to get the lid on. I'll check back. I'll check back in a bit. I'm guessing it's going to take about an hour to get done. So we'll see. I'll check back in about 30 minutes. All right, you guys, these chickens have been on for about 40 minutes. That's what they're looking like. Actually taking on some really good color. I did spritz them, and I just use, I can't believe it's enough butter. I'm probably going to switch over to some apple juice. But that's what they're looking like now. About 40 minutes in. Really good color. I'm happy with that. Look good. Hey guys, these chickens are almost done. I'm gonna take some sauce. You can use whatever sauce you like. Let's get that right over the chicken. Let the sauce set for about 5 minutes. These birds are eating about 165, so they're really close to being done. So we'll get this sauce on these birds. Let it set for a few minutes, and then pull them off. I like using the sauce bottle like this so I don't leave those streaks with the brush. So just a nice glaze of sauce. That's gonna be good. Well, you guys, this chicken is done. Just pulled it off. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna let it rest for just a bit, then we'll cut into it and give it a taste. All right, you guys, so I got the chicken here. I'm gonna just separate the leg quarter from the thigh. I'm sorry, the leg quarter from the breast. On this one, I think this one I'm just going to kind of put to the side for now. Let's separate this leg from this thigh. Get that separated. I'm going to cut off some of this breast meat here and see what that looks like. Actually, let's get this wing off. Comes right off. And then I'm just going to take this breast here, and I'm probably just going to cut it right off the, there you go, right off the bone. Whew. I don't know if you can, let's see if we can make this out. But this breast meat from that injection is actually pretty moist. Can you, there you go, see that? That's good. So the rest of that breast meat, as you can see, it's actually pretty moist. It's hot. Hot, hot, hot. So I'm gonna cut some of this up and then we'll give it a taste. All right, so here's a piece of this breast meat that I cut up. As you can see, it's pretty moist. So I'm gonna give this a taste, and then I'm gonna give, that's the white meat. I'm gonna give the dark meat, the wing, which is what I love. I'm gonna give that a taste. So let's see what it tastes like. All right, guys, so we're gonna give this breast meat a shot. Salud. Good gosh almighty. This thing is moist, flavorful. You know, pulling that skin back and adding the seasoning to the breast meat, that was the right way to go. This stuff is legit. Nice and soft, just tender. That's really good. That was a breast meat. I'm gonna try this wing. You guys see the color on this? Look at that. That's good. Let's give it a shot. Let's try this wing. You know what? Wow. I'm really picking up that injection. I think there's a lot more flavor in the dark meat than there was in the breast meat, in the white meat. Even though the white meat, there was actually a ton of flavor. I'm liking this dark meat. Damn it, that's good.